Hey, good morning. You are looking live at Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome to the Hammerdown Roadshow, where we put the pedal to the metal and talk trends, tech, and tunes. My name is Jay Mervis, Director of Sales at Lifescale Analytics. How's everybody doing? It's been about a month. Been a little quiet on social media. Been working behind the scenes on quite a few different things, but I landed. As many of you know, my passion is healthcare technology. I've spent the last 2.5 years in the cybersecurity side, but I've always been interested in the data side of the business. My dream job would have been to be a general manager of an MLB or an NBA team, and a lot of the analytics they use, I look at healthcare the same way. So I'm proud to say that I started at Lifescale Analytics this week, building out some of the healthcare materials in stealth and making some things happen, but we're a data and analytics firm. So we're going to go through part of the journey when we talk trends, tech, and tunes, and I'm going to be responsible for sales at the firm. But what we talk about is a variety of different pillars within the business, but the first thing that we talk to any customer or partner on helping a customer out is the data evolution strategy. So one of the industry trends is data. And part of what's interesting in the research that I've been poring over for the last couple of weeks has been the correlation between cybersecurity and data and how that impacts patient care. And the one thing we talked about in cybersecurity is if you don't know where your data is or you don't know where your assets are, how do you protect it? And the same thing goes for data. Read an interesting statistic today, 2,116 breaches through Q3 that have been reported to the OCR. And what's interesting about that is there's probably half of those where they didn't know that they had some form of data that they couldn't protect through a variety of different formats. But when we talk data evolution strategy, we go through quite an extensive consulting engagement because customers want to go and leverage that data for precision medicine, artificial intelligence and machine learning. What are they doing about population health? How do we get the population preventing them from going into the hospital? How do we spot those trends? We can't do any of this without data. And if we don't have all the data in the same format, how do we get all the stakeholders, all these different things? So I'm pretty excited about this. I didn't go to med school, I'm not going to lie, but at the end of the day, using technology and leveraging that, and there's so many exciting things going on within the technology space in healthcare. And where it was 7 to 10 years ago. But what's interesting to me is this is a point to where there's more data sharing. So how do we get all of this stuff organized? And we can't do that without starting at the data evolution strategy here at Lifescale Analytics with anybody that's in our customer base or prospective customer base. But I throw that out there because I have these random flashbacks from when we started a pilot at CDW in 2003, and I know that sounds like a long time ago, but one of the problems was the patient records, right? So how many medical errors were there and how many medication dispensations, and this is before all the digitization of healthcare. But what was interesting, and I always use this example, is I could take my truck or my Jeep to any Dodge dealer in the country or Jiffy Lube, whoever my provider is, Valvoline, and they'll have a record of my car history on whatever the last service was and proactively tell me what service needs to be done. If any of you on the Hammerdown fan club and I go out rock climbing in Arizona, nobody has any idea what my blood type is when I slip because I'm not as young as I once was and I'll probably fall off the mountain. But I throw that out there because the tech, what we've identified with the data evolution strategy, and I'll go back to the same thing as cybersecurity, is many people buy a ton of tools. And we don't want to sell you another tool. We identified that about 26% of the people that buy Tableau, Click, or Power BI are not adopted fully to maximize it for all the shareholders to go drive their business forward. So there's so many different use cases that we should sit down and talk about, but I throw that out there is that's what we're doing with the tech. It's not about buying another product to go make something better. If you don't have the right tools, we'll make a recommendation, but we want to go and take the data and make it actionable, organize it. And there's a whole variety of things that I keep trying to absorb all the training I've had. But at the end of the day, understanding where your data is, how to make it actionable, that's what we're doing here. Data evolution strategy. Follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Facebook, Lifescale Analytics, our Instagram, whatever format you want. And the Hammerdown Roadshow is back. Super excited to be here. There's so much activity and ability to use the data to go and make better decisions and help people live healthier lives. And there's going to be a lot of impacts. And as a firm, we're going to go and deliver some of those impacts. I know a lot of my friends and the loyal followers have been texting me, when's the next tunes? Tell me why don't you start marketing these, Jay? Listen, here, the tunes today, it's Guns N' Roses, okay? I went to the Guns N' Roses show with my boy Darren last month. Great show. The reason I want Guns N' Roses today is there's 3 songs out there, and if you have not been to a Guns N' Roses show, and I've been to 3 of them, you know that if you go to a Guns N' Roses show, their visual show is better than Axl's singing. But you think about when you put that tape in 1987, I remember coming home from basketball practice and my dad was like, what the hell are you listening to? And I had a boombox, and at the end of the day, Night Train. That's what a lot of the data looks like, because the data explosion in healthcare is going beyond anything anybody thought 20 years ago when they digitized this and started in 2011 with all the explosion of that. So we've got that. That's from the actual data that's out there. That's what it looks like. It's a night train. And listen to the song and think of the visuals if you've gone to a concert. The second song is Bad Obsession. Here at Lifescale Analytics, we've got a bad obsession about data and making data actionable and helping customers drive the business forward and make better decisions with data-driven outcomes. It's an exciting time because there's so much data, but we need to take that data and make it so it's actionable for the stakeholders that need it, whether it's clinical, whether it's workforce, whether it's the folks over in supply chain, the driving the costs out and making sure we have enough of the right stuff at the right time. That's really where we're at. And then the last one, I think, is an understated good song that they play in concert now, but it was recorded with Axl and then a variety of mishmash of bands. But I think this is the appropriate song, is Better, because everybody in the healthcare business is trying to improve patient care and make it better so people live longer and live healthier and better lives. So listen, like it, share it, tell your friends, tell your mom. Lifescale Analytics, great firm. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on LinkedIn. Check us out on Instagram. We got a newsletter. I'm going to have a newsletter coming out too. Plenty of content coming. It's an exciting time in the healthcare business. Put the hammer down on the pedal to the metal. Thanks for tuning in.